Whenever you're ready.
Hey, Mark. So, what do you think about June? And is the market doing what you thought it would do?
Well, there's a couple unknowns first, I think, before I answer that questions. I think May was great. We didn't see the bang up pop in June, but I really think it has to do with inventory. I think we really don't realize what the demand figure is out there because look how fast the inventory sold in May. Inventory we'd never seen before. It came up, it got gobbled up. June kind of came along, even though there was a rate increase in there, just didn't have the same punches as May had. So
So, the June sales were down.
200, May was at 250 and June was at 200. So 20, 50 sales down. Okay. So, and that's kind of consistent with March and April and February, we were consistently with 200. So I'm not alarmed by it. I think May could have been June could have been a better month if we had product. I really do. Talking to other colleagues and the stuff that I'm reading that, we all have a handful of buyers that are sitting there and waiting to buy, but they can't find product. It's not the right product.
Well, and sales were still going over.
That was a big surprise, right? When I looked at them a little bit more in detail today, there was a lot. And for that number, before we go into deep in the numbers, 200 sales in Barrie, 29 sales over $1 million. That's a 14% of the inventory. So pretty consistent what we saw in previous months over $1 million. We know that's changed a bit now. Listings went up to 423, but we're seeing 30% inventory sold over list price. So but when we say that number, we're saying that we know the sweet spots. We know them. 8 and down is gone.
Yeah.
Right. We've seen some nice properties in July that have even sold over list price, and we're going, holy shit, they got 726 for that was what's Coleman or
Coatman.
Nice looking property. Like that was a nice looking property for 726. Like, whoa.
Well, and they priced it at 649. So it seems like the ones that this is what I'm noticing, the ones that were priced way below market, like you knew it was way below, they're maybe going 70, 80 over, just like the one on Woodfern, right?
Correct.
But the ones that are priced a little bit low, they're not withholding offers, but they're still getting multiples, some of them, and they're going just over.
Yeah, they are. And to that point, and I went through a lot of the listings today to see, yes, we've seen some offer dates in there. We've seen 24 hours, sometimes 48. Some we didn't see nothing and maybe listed for 16 or 17 days and go, holy cow, they got 20 grand over and they've been listed for 23 days. I've seen a few of those. So when we look at July, we know the first week of July, long weekend, everyone's on holidays, everybody's excited. But it seemed like some of those buyers reappeared back into the marketplace, and started buying. And even, we're talking a little bit about July right now, but we've seen that. So I think demand is pretty more than, we really know what it is in a way. If we could
and I don't think the interest rate, it doesn't seem to be killing us the way that they thought, because the interest rate, even though the Bank of Canada has gone up once, in the last month, the banks have gone up 3 times. You know that?
100%. Yep. And everybody's not affected by this, right? First timers, we don't even, like I can't even tell you last time I did a first time, buyer deal. Yep. They don't have a hope in hell in a sense. But the people that are, hey, you know what? If they find the right inventory, let's sell. Let's buy. Let's do this. So there's things happening. And I was quite surprised by looking at the numbers so far for July and how many have sold over list price, and the inventory is pretty fluctuant, from weeks ago, 419, 416, 423. It's being consistent. So, but when we talk about those numbers, we had this discussion before, half of that 423 number was stuff that's been relisted. It's old inventory. Yeah. So we don't have a lot of product. Let's be honest.
No, we still don't. And I'm wondering if, like, when people's mortgages are starting to come up for renewal and they're thinking, oh my God, it's going to be double. I can't even afford this payment. Do I sell now? Because if the interest rates keep going up, our price is going to go down eventually. Like, it's actually causing some people to make a move now rather than wait to see if it gets worse.
Yes, I think some of those positions, yeah, when they're more, and they know they can't, affordability piece isn't there for renewal at the, today's rates or even a point higher. Yeah, they're thinking, what do I do? But I really think it depends on the property as well. I wouldn't jump the gun so much, depending on the property, right? If it's a 7 to 8, I'd stay another year because nothing's going to happen to that price point. We're seeing more demand jump in as rates go up, right? We're seeing cooling off of the higher prices. Now now we better go to 7, 8, 9 range, which there's no product. There's a hell of a lot of a big buyer pool there right now.
Well, in July, up until this point, there's already 83 sales.
Yeah.
And I think only 5 of them are over $1 million, 5 or 6. Everything else is in the lower ranges. And 20 something of them were condos, 20, 25 or something. So in the lower price range though.
Correct. And we're seeing that. Let's go to condos for a bit. And I'll go through some numbers because for June and stuff, because you hit a spot. So there was 46 sales for June, currently 153 active listings. So it was about a 4-week supply. 41 of the sales are under 730. 2 condos sold above like 950, and 1 on White Oaks for 1,725,000. So again, that 730 and down seems to be a sweet spot, and it's taken some time, right? They're not flying off the shelf.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, look at Ellen Street, Nautica building there back 3 months ago. Come up, it would be gone in a day or two. Now there's 5 or 6 listings in there. One sold conditionally today, but double-digit days on market. So
I know.
Shocking about Nautica in a way, right? Because usually the 2-bedrooms they don't last more than a few days. So I was quite surprised at that, to be honest. But I don't know. Maybe that summer's here. Maybe they're saying we're going to come back in the fall. I don't know.
Well, and a lot of those people are retirees that they're looking to do it during the winter, right? Like they're looking to leave in the winter. So now we're already getting close to trying to close when September, October, November, you know what I mean? Like, is that little buffer over now?
Yeah, maybe for the summer it might be, right? We might see that building pick up in the fall because it is a different older demographic, right?
Yeah.
It's living there, summer cottages, want to be around their grandkids. That's more important than selling real estate and moving at this time for them, that group. So it could be interesting. Let's go through some other numbers and get those out of the way for June and go back to our market stuff. Cover the condos, talked about the Barrie sales. Innisfil, 290 listings, 84 sold, 3.5 week supply. Innisfil's kind of tight, but a lot of higher price point properties. So it's going to be interesting to see, how that does in July.
Well, what was funny in May, they did a lot worse than we did.
I know. In June looks like they kind of did some better things, and either maybe some expired product never came back on the market, listings, a couple weeks worth of supply. So I don't know. And, July will tell the story, but we're definitely seeing a slowdown in the higher price point properties.
And yeah, and the higher price points for sure. Yep. I mean, I was shocked because I've been looking at Innisfil with a buyer, and everything was sitting and sitting and sitting, and it's selling now. And normally in July, it's really slow.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
So I was thinking, well, like, what's going on? Like, I was expecting this July slowdown.
Yep.
And there's already 83 sales in Barrie. So I'm not seeing the slowdown that I was expecting.
No, we thought we'd be all taking the summer off a little bit, right? Where we go, okay, well, July and August we'll come back to work in September in a sense. But no, the phones are ringing for me a little bit too, questions. And these buyers that I have are currently, I've had them for some time. Now some things are coming available. Let's go look at this. Let's go look at that. But you've had a bang up July. You've been running. You've had
yeah.
You've been extremely busy. And why is that? I think
I'm trying to figure that out myself. Like,
you've had a lot of those buyers for some time.
Some of them, yeah. Like some of them I've had for a long time.
A long time. I finally got that deal done. I've been working for them for 2 years. They missed out on a bunch of properties. Boom. So do we think that maybe people that got beat out in May and frustrated, and you've had them too, clients, and maybe, you know, backed off a bit, and then they started to come back, and, you know, there's not so many, you know, they're not competing as much, and the prices are still staying intact, but the buyer pool kind of, you know, is slowing in this time in July currently, which is normal. So
Well, and you know, you're going in multiple offers, or there's things that have been sitting for a while that you can actually negotiate a little bit. So it's not as tight where everybody has to be there the first day. Everybody's going crazy pricing. It's not like that right now. So buyers are feeling like, hey, I can finally step in here.
Yep.
And I might be actually able to buy something for what I want to pay. Because that was the big thing, right?
Your clients that you were working with, they were under a budget.
Yeah. And the other thing is that when you're in a multiple offer situation, you're paying way over. You feel like you're getting ripped off.
You do. It's tough. It's
right. And if
tough.
they don't have to move right now, they felt like, well, why am I going to go and be in this war and pay 100,000 over? Yeah. I'm not doing it. Like,
I don't think we see a lot of those though. I don't think
not now.
We're not now. Like, you know, when we, you know, just to let the audience know, when we're talking multiple offers, we're not talking excessive bidding war prices that we saw in 2022 in February. We're not. We're seeing if something's priced at $699, the real market value is, you know, $730 to $750. That's kind of what we're seeing. There's still a market value. They're pricing lower to get more people in. And then we see some agents, you know, going $499 or $599. We've seen it's selling for $150,000. The general public needs to understand that yes, it went over, but that property was well below, you know, where it should have been listed.
Hey, I was talking to this real estate agent that had this listing, and my clients were going in multiple offer. There was 4 offers. And, you know, I said, well, you know, you priced it way too low. He goes, oh, Diana, we totally understand that. My client understands that too. Mm-hmm. He goes, and we don't expect way over. He goes, all I want to do is give them an option of offers and buyers. So we know we're not going to get 800.
Right.
If we get in the mid 7s or low 7s, we're happy. But this way they get to pick what deal they want. No. That's why he did it. Yeah. Because then I could get a firm deal.
What property? Coben, yeah.
The guy said, I know we're not getting 800. We're not doing it to get 800. We're doing it to give my client an option.
Yeah.
If I priced it at 750, they'd get one offer and they'd have to try to work with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he goes, this way you get 3 or 4 and you can choose who you work with.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. Like, you know,
they're not expecting crazy numbers is my
no, they're not.
Point.
They're not. And we're not seeing the crazy numbers on the board. We're not seeing those.
No, we're not.
No, we're seeing, like I say, like a Coben 699, 730. Be nice to see 750, but they got 730 and they're happy. And that's what the market was willing to pay at that time. And the next week they could have got 750. Who knows? Right? Like, it's funny. Right. So, you know, I think buyers that are listing right now, sellers that are listing right now need to understand that, right? Like, need to see where the pricing is, what's going on in the current month, what happened last month, where do we see this, you know, our pricing, you know, being on offers. If a seller today is thinking they're going to get, you know, we're going to price that 699 and we want 9, it ain't going to happen.
No,
just not.
And you know what, we did see a couple that we thought, my God, they got really high, which we thought they wouldn't. So like, it's like a needle in a haystack to get that though.
Let's go back and talk about, because, you know, you've had some clients and I have some friends that are kind of, you know, in that mortgage situation today where they're okay right now, but come time renewal, you know, 3 years from now where we're going, holy cow.
Well, the thing is, Mark, it's not 3 years anymore. It's not 3 years anymore, because people that bought in 2019 before the big craziness started, their mortgage is up next year. It's 1 year left.
For sure. Yes. Some, you know, some people the 5-year rate, some the 3-year. Yeah. Some of those.
That was a 5-year. My client bought in 2019 before all the craziness. 2020, it started going crazy, and hers is up next year. Yeah. So, and she's already doing the math. It's only a year away, and holy crow, like, it's double. How the hell am I going to afford this house?
Yeah, I know. I know. And that's the thing, right? Like it's going to be, you know, sell now. I don't think so. And go rent. I think depending on the purchase price, I'd probably stay there for another year and say, okay, go sell it there because, you know, I think everyone out there is expecting a crash in the real estate market. I really do. Right. We've seen some, you've got clients, I've got clients. Oh no, I'm not buying. It's gonna crash. But we're not seeing that picture. We're not.
No,
We're
but
seeing
you know what the problem
not great
is?
things, but we're seeing improvements month over month.
The problem is this, is that their feeling right now is the market is pretty stable. So if I sell right now, then the price is kind of decent. It's a decent price. It's not at the very high, but it's not at some ridiculous low.
Mhm.
If in the next year, 2 years, we get a whole bunch of people that can't afford their mortgages, are their prices going to go down? So their fear is, you know, right now it's kind of stable. Should I sell when it's stable and buy something cheaper?
Right. And that's not a bad strategy right now, because then they're taking the insurance policy in a sense. Okay, you know, market stable, I'm gonna get the dollar that I need, maybe to get out, downsize that mortgage, maybe port it over, whatever. So I'm ahead, they're getting more ahead of that than waiting to next year. And then you have some buyers saying, oh no, it's gonna crash. I'm waiting till all those renewals come up. But I don't think that supply, we've got a bit of supply, and look how in May that came along and look how fast it got gobbled up. That was incredible.
I know.
So I think we're underestimating demand. And I don't know where it is in a sense, because we don't have the numbers to back it up. But looking at, you know, the client lists that we have and finding it and working with people that can't find that right property. I don't know. I think there's lots of them.
Well, and you know, a lot of the clients that I put offers with on and stuff, there's still 3 or 4 or 5 offers on the properties. There's not like, so the buyers are definitely out there. They're there.
Yeah. And we're seeing that in July now as we progress through July, right? We're seeing the same kind of things in June that we're going, holy cow, we didn't really expect to see that so far in July.
Normally you don't see that, like not at this stage.
No, not too many
People are
times.
all on vacation, especially the first 2 weeks of July, because a lot of people, when school finishes, they go away.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is only July 17th, so it's really the first 2 weeks.
First 2 weeks.
And 83 sales already in Barrie.
That's right. If we can get to 200, I mean, everything's at par, right? And I don't think we have the inventory to do it because, you know, I have a listing coming up and, you know, I hope we got to do some things in painting there. Kind of would like to list it in August. But then on the other hand, it's a 1-bedroom condo at Bell Farm. The last sale in Bell Farm was in January. That's a low price point. There's got to be someone looking for a condo that's in the 359, 369 area. Holy cow. That doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, I know.
Nothing. So, you know, you're damned if you do. And
well, I would list it because of that.
Well, that's the thing that I'm leaning to say, hey, maybe we should just get it cleaned up and see what it needs. I'm going tomorrow to
well, because the other issue too is you have all the school kids coming in for college, and a lot of parents will buy one of those, and if it's a 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom, they'll buy one for their kid and then they rent out the other room to someone and it pays the mortgage.
Yeah, because there's not 1 bedroom listed there. And the last sale was in January. That's a long time. So they're not coming up. Couple 2 bedrooms, but 1 bedroom, you know, you may get a, you know, a real international student that wants, you know, quietness and wants their own living space. Not a bad gig. Let's do a shout out for if you like this content, give it a like, give us a follow for more information to stay up to date on the Barrie and Simcoe real estate market. We always forget to do that.
I know. And if someone has a question, drop us a comment.
Yeah, that's a nice thing. You know, we do a lot of these videos, and this is our perspectives on the market. We're both full-time agents who are heavily invested in the market and have a great grasp on it. So it'd be nice for some comments and, you know, some even interaction with some of the audience out there that may have some questions that would like us to cover off. We'd be more than happy to do that.
Yeah, because I know that I mean, we can give our best estimations, but nobody really knows exactly what's going to happen. It's too volatile.
It is volatile. It is, right? And we're not seeing, one thing we're not seeing big swings up and down. We're just seeing, oh, demand's a little bit stronger than I thought. And then maybe 4 weeks from now, we'll go, where'd everybody go? And
I know.
and then we'll kind of come back, right? But we're not seeing the big swings. So, and if inventory, and again, yes, people are still listing, but not as aggressively as they were in May and June. So we're in July, people.
Well, you know what I noticed in July, there's been quite a few listing really low, $599, like ridiculous numbers.
Yeah, I see.
To just get the action, and it was working. Like they're all selling over. It's working.
Yeah, I know. I know, to drive traffic like that and give some options. And again, I think it depends on the price point. But yeah, I mean, things aren't as bad as people are thinking out there, right? And you're looking at the results of the economy is not slowing down right now. Spending is still good. So, but I don't know what's going to happen in 6 months from here. Where are these rates going to go? How aggressive is the Bank of Canada going to be? We don't know, right?
No, that's the problem.
Right. And are we going to see an influx of product next year, in the next 2 or 3 years? I don't know. We don't know that. But, I think a lot of people have the consensus, okay, great. We're going to see in the third or fourth quarter of 2023 a rate drop. We're not going to see that. It's not happening.
I don't know. I don't think so either, because like our inflation went down last month. It didn't matter. They put it up anyway because it's not at the number they want.
I know. And that's going to take some time. And I'm hoping that, there's a pause coming next month. It would be nice to maybe have a pause and kind of see for another month or two. But again, we'll see how aggressive they are. Once we see some spending slow down a bit in retail sales, et cetera, then maybe they'll say, okay, we're seeing the slowdown coming. Because that's what everyone's kind of waiting for, a bit of a slowdown where people just stop spending a little bit.
I know.
I don't know where this money's coming from, because there's still lots of job employment opportunities out there.
Well, the problem is everybody has to pay to put gas in their car and to eat and to do everything else. And the prices just keep going up and up and up. So, and we have to spend it to live. So
I know. It's crazy. Okay, I think that's a wrap.
Yeah, that's a wrap for today, Mark.
Okay, talk soon. See ya.
See ya.